Hi Saraswati, how are you
Yes,
doing?
hi ma'am. I'm doing great. Thank you. What about you?
I'm great. I'm great, thanks. Saraswati, did you have your breakfast?
Yeah, I had my breakfast.
What was for breakfast, if I may ask?
Today I ate dosa.
Dosa, okay. And what were your accompaniments with dosa?
Dosa with chutney, coconut
Chutney. What
chutney,
chutney is it?
coconut chutney.
Coconut chutney. So is it green in color or orange in color?
Green in color because I add coriander as well as green chili too.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it. Fine. So do you make the other one, the orange colored or the red colored chutney as well?
Yes, I can make.
Oh, okay, fine. But you prefer the green one. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So both these chutneys, both the red as well as the green chutney, they both have coconut in them, right?
Red chutney, I have no idea because when I make red chutney, so at that time I use grams,
Ah.
red chili, garlic.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay. So you don't use coconut in that,
No, I do not use coconut in that.
but you use gram. What
Yeah.
gram?
Uh,
The pulses? You mean like do you use
no,
the
no,
green
no.
gram or the red
Pulses
gram?
means no. Gram means chana.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yes.
Oh, got it.
Roasted.
Chickpeas.
Yes, yes.
So you
Roasted
use roasted
gram.
chickpeas.
Yes.
Okay, so when you say chana, chana is chickpeas in English.
Yes. Okay.
Chickpeas. Ha. Chick, chick
Okay.
and peas. Peas.
Chickpeas. Yes, I use
Yeah,
that.
chickpeas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want you, Saraswati, I want you to imagine that I am a foreigner. I don't know anything about Indian food or anything of that sort. Okay.
Mhm.
So how would you explain to me what you had for breakfast this morning, what you are planning to have for lunch and dinner in the afternoon and evening, respectively? I want you to explain that to me. So please keep in mind that you have already had your breakfast. Correct?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So note, pay attention to what I am saying. I am a
Yes.
foreigner. I
Hmm.
want you to explain to me what you had for breakfast in the morning and what are you planning to have for lunch and dinner. Whenever
Means
you're ready,
you are foreigner, and
I'm a
I
foreigner.
have to explain you what I am going to prepare for my lunch and for dinner.
But before that, you should tell me what you had for breakfast.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be a conversation. So then I will start the conversation. Is it okay? So let's just say that we are colleagues. We are working together. We are colleagues. And
Yeah.
like I said, I am a foreigner. I have been sent here on maybe the organization. I'm from America. Let's give that take that as an example. So the American, so my the parent company in the United States has sent me here for a project. So now the two of us are having a conversation. So I
Yeah.
don't know anything about Indian food. Nothing.
Yes.
Okay. So you should have this in your mind. Okay. So we will
Okay.
have the conversation right now. Hi Saraswati, how are you?
Yeah. Hi, ma'am. I'm great. Thank you. What about you?
I'm great. I'm great. Saraswati, did you have breakfast?
Yeah, I had my breakfast.
Oh, nice. I had cornflakes. It's so boring. What did you have?
I had dosa with chutney. Do you know
What's
about dosa and
dosa?
chutney? This is Indian food. Have you heard
Oh,
about this food?
no, I've
Indian
never
food
heard of
found
this.
in
Can you
the
explain? Can you
yes.
explain what a dosa is?
This recipe is mostly we found in South India, and
Okay.
we make dosa with two ingredients. One is pulse, pulses, and another is rice. We soak that
Okay.
in night for we kept that for overnight, and in morning we grind it, and it's like batter. We make batter of that, and that batter first we heat the pan, and we just take one measurement small bowl, and one by one, we apply, means we pour that batter on the pan and spread it with the help of that bowl. And
Okay.
also we apply a bit of ghee on that to make it more tasty.
Oh, nice. Sounds
And
yum. Okay.
along with
Okay.
that, I also prepare chutney that is of coconut, and I also add chili and coriander, garlic, and salt. And I just grind it in mixer with the help of mixer. So this is called dosa and chutney.
Nice. Sounds yum. Okay, so before you proceed for lunch and dinner, Saraswati, let me just give you a quick recap of the way you spoke. Okay, so you started off the conversation by saying this recipe. What is the meaning of recipe? What do you think is the meaning of recipe? I'll ask you. Do you know what is the meaning of
Recipe,
recipe? So, let me give you the example. Let me give you an
yeah.
example in the form of a sentence.
Yes.
Neetu asked Varsha for the recipe that she uses to make dosa.
Oh, yeah.
So
Got it.
now you tell me what is the meaning of recipe.
Recipe means the way, the process of making one food.
First class. Very good.
Yeah.
So recipe is the method used to make the food.
Yes. Yes.
Got it? That is
Yes.
how you're making recipe.
Yeah.
The food itself is called the dish.
Dish. Yes.
Got it? So
Got
dish
it.
means I can give you another example. Saraswati cooked a delicious dish of dosa and chutney today.
Yes.
Okay? Or Saraswati cooks delicious dishes. Dishes
Yes.
means meals or
Yes.
food. Dishes is another
Yes.
is a synonym for food. At the same time, Saraswati bought a dish of rice and chutney
Yes.
or dosa and chutney, whatever it is. Now,
Yes.
dish is actually, if you take it in the foreign context, dish is also another word for plate.
Yes.
So, this dish can be broken easily, or this dish is breakable. So, you should be
Yes.
very careful when you use that word because dish
Mm.
means plate in that context.
Yes.
But on the other hand, dish can also mean the food itself.
Yes.
Saraswati cooked a delicious dish of rice and chutney.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So there
Yes.
are
Yes.
two ways of actually explaining it. Got it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So now you said this recipe. So now you understood your mistake. Okay. So the question that Neetu asked Saraswati was, what is this dosa and chutney? Can you please explain? So what you can say is, now in America, I don't know whether you're aware of this, Saraswati, and it's not, it's okay. Even if you're not aware of it, it's fine. But in
Mm.
America, a very common form or a very common breakfast, in fact, I believe the most common breakfast that they have in the United States of America is pancake.
Pancake. Okay.
Pancake.
Mm.
Pancakes are a very common form of breakfast in the United States. What is this pancake? This pancake is nothing but flour and milk and sometimes sugar, little bit of baking soda. You make it into a batter and then you fry it on a
Yes.
ladle, okay, on a hot pan. And then after that, you put little butter, or usually the Americans they have it with maple syrup. This maple syrup is another version of honey. It's not the same as honey. It is like the cousin sister of honey, if you want, you can say like this. It is like the cousin of honey. Okay,
Okay.
it's a very popular dish in America. Here also in India, many of these cafes, if you go for breakfast to some certain places and all, they have these pancakes. So they
Mm-hmm.
have pancakes with scrambled eggs and sausage and all of that. It's a very popular breakfast, and in India, it's a very expensive breakfast. In America, it's a very cheap breakfast. It's expensive in India because it is from America. No? That is why it is expensive here, but it's very cheap because it's a very common breakfast in America.
Okay.
So when you are explaining it to this foreigner, who is, I told you that this girl or this lady is from America.
Mm.
It is okay if you don't say it, but if you are aware, Saraswati, you can say, Neetu, the dosa, the Indian dosa, you can say that the Indian dosa can be compared to the American pancake.
Okay.
So you are giving an opening or a punchline. Remember, I keep telling you that always your conversation has to have a headline or a punchline, like how you have in a newspaper, your newspaper articles.
Yes. Yes.
You know, Saraswati has won the lottery. So that is the headline. Now,
Mm-hmm.
who is Saraswati? What lottery did she win? For all those details, you look in the newspaper article. But we have established a headline. That is what we are looking for. So you can say that, Neetu, the Indian dosa can be compared to the American pancake, but the savory version. Savory. What is the meaning of the word savory? Savory. I will repeat. Savory. Anything that is spicy, salty, tangy. That means uh, samosas, kachoris, pickle. These are all savory items.
Okay.
You have two kinds of food. You have sweet and you have savory. So
Yes.
all your dessert items, your sweets, Indian sweets like jalebis and laddus and all, they're all sweets.
Yes.
And the samosas, the kachoris, chaat, these all come under the savory items.
Savory. Okay.
Got it? So what you
Yes.
can say is the Indian dosa can be compared to a savory version of the American pancake.
Okay.
So now we have established a headline. Supposing, Saraswati, you don't know about this pancake. Clearly, you are not aware of this until I told you. It is okay. You can explain that the Indian dosa is is like a flat bread, but made of two prime ingredients, rice and pulses.
Okay.
This is another way of saying it. Yet another way of saying it is is dosa is a staple Indian dish. And this you said that it is mostly it's from South India. You said like this. So you can say that it is a staple South Indian dish that is made of fermented rice batter.
Yes.
Fermented rice batter. What is the meaning of fermented? Fermented. I will repeat. Fermented. Fermented. Why? Fermented means, so now you are explaining the meaning of ferment. Now, to ferment means to that process, the rice batter, when you soak it overnight, it will rise. That
Yes.
process is called fermentation
Foundation.
because of the carbon dioxide and all of those, some science is involved in it. So that
Yes.
rice batter rises, that is called as fermentation. The fermentation is happening.
Yes.
So you can say that dosa is made of a fermented batter that consists of two main ingredients, rice and pulses. So you can say that we soak these rice and pulses overnight. Oh, sorry, we soak the rice and pulses the day before for a couple of hours, after which we grind it into a smooth batter and leave it overnight to
Overnight.
ferment. And leave it overnight to ferment.
Yes.
The next morning, the next morning, we heat we heat a pan, okay, and with the help of a ladle, Ladle, ladle. I will repeat, Ladle. Ladle means the spatula, that spoon, no, the long spoon that you
Yes.
use. So with the help of the ladle, we scoop out a small portion of the batter, spread it on the hot pan liberally. You can say liberally or generously spread ghee and cook on both sides till it becomes crisp.
Yes.
Till it becomes crisp. So now you have explained the process of how to make a dosa and what a dosa is to this foreigner. To a certain extent. You don't have to give the full recipe because I don't think she is going to sit and make dosa in her house. But you are trying to explain because she's never heard of this thing. This dosa sounds like some alien word to her. So, in
Yes.
order to give her a basic idea, we have used the word fermented, rice batter, hot pan, generously. What is the meaning of generously? That means lavish.
Yes.
The more ghee you put, the more tasty it becomes. So,
Yes.
generously or liberally spread ghee over the dosa to make it tastier. That is what we are trying to say.
Yes.
Got it? So
Yes.
far, are we clear? With the help
Yes.
of the leader, we've done all these things. Okay. So then you can say usually dosa is accompanied with a few condiments. Condiment. Condiment. What is the meaning of condiment? Let me give you some examples. Pickle, chutney, mayonnaise, These are all examples of condiments. What is the meaning of condiment? Condiment is like a side dish. So sometimes we have rice. For me, comfort food. Have you heard of this term, comfort food, Saraswati? COMFORT. I will repeat. COMFORT. Space,
Comfort.
food. Comfort. Comfort. You know the meaning of the word comfort? Food. Food is a
Comfort.
separate word. Comfort food. Comfort food is food that makes you happy.
Yes.
Got it? So that is the meaning of comfort food.
Um,
So now to get back to our discussion, you can say that dosa is, you're explaining this to the foreigner, we are still continuing the discussion.
yes.
Dosa is usually accompanied with a condiment called chutney. A condiment. 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 Plural of condiment is condiments. You put an S, it becomes plural. Okay. So you can say the dosa. Now, one more thing is, you can say usually dosa is had with a sambar, which is nothing but a gravy of cooked vegetables. Finished. Because sambar is a completely, you think any Americans know what sambar is? No. So how do you explain it to a foreigner? You say sambar is nothing but a gravy. They know what gravy is. You can either use the word gravy or curry. So you can say that sambar is a gravy of cooked vegetables.
Yeah.
So you can say dosa is usually accompanied with a sambar, which is nothing but, or you can say which is a gravy of cooked vegetables, or you can also say which is nothing but a gravy of cooked vegetables.
Yes.
But I prefer, that is Saraswati. Saraswati prefers dosa with a chutney, with a condiment called chutney.
Yes.
Saraswati, that is, I prefer dosa with a condiment called chutney.
Yeah.
So then this lady will be like, chutney? What is chutney? So you can say that there are different versions of chutneys, but my favorite is the one that includes coriander, green chilies, and whatever else it is that you say, all
Yeah.
blitzed. BLITZED. I will repeat.
Ready.
B for Bombay. BLITZ. Z is the last alphabet of the English language. Z for zebra. Z E. E for elephant. D for dog. Blitzed. What is the meaning of blitzed? Blitzed is another word for grind.
Okay.
Okay, blitz is the original verb. That is, forget the ed. If you remove the ed, you get the original verb, blitz.
Okay.
Blitz is another word for grind, and it's an American English term. Please note, it's an American English term. It is used usually used in a casual context, but you can use it in a formal context also. There is nothing. Blitzed in a grind to a fine paste, or to a, no, sorry, not fine paste, to a coarse paste. COARSE. I will repeat, COARSE. What is the meaning of coarse? Coarse means rough.
Rough.
Chutney is not smooth paste, correct?
Yes.
Chutney, you will, when you're eating it, maybe you'll bite little coconuts, little something. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a rough paste. It's not purely smooth,
Yeah.
correct? So it is blitzed to a coarse paste.
Yeah.
It is blitzed to a coarse paste. And this is what I had for breakfast this morning. This is what I had for breakfast this morning. One very important point to note, Saraswati, a lot of people say, because I used to say it, that's why I'm being honest. A lot of people say, I had this for breakfast today morning. Wrong. It is never today morning. It is always this morning.
Okay.
I had dosa and chutney for breakfast this morning. Or you
And
can say
what is,
today. Ah,
I have learned, I have heard one sentence that is, I have had my food. What is the meaning of this? I have
I have
had
had
my
my
food.
food means I have completed my food. I have completed eating.
Okay.
What food we have not specified. You have not specified whether it is breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You have completed having your food. Finished. That's it. I have had my food means have had is past perfect tense. I have had. Anything with have becomes perfect tense. So in the past, I finished having my food. So someone says, Saraswati, are you hungry? No, no, Neetu, I have had my food.
Okay.
So I finished, in the past itself, I already finished eating my food.
And if I say only I had my food, then it is wrong.
Nothing is wrong. That is also correct. It is actually more simple. That is simple past. What you just now said is simple past. There is no need of have. So it has become simple past tense.
Oh,
So you can say that, no, I already had my food. Neetu, it's fine.
yes.
Yeah. So we have explained the dosa and chutney to the to your how do I say this, to the American. So now, Saraswati, I want you to explain to this American what are you going to have for lunch.
Mm. So today I will cook in my lunch dal and rice along with pickle. We will eat that
Dal and rice along with, sorry,
along with pickle.
along with pickle. Okay.
Yes.
Before I give you feedback on this, some mistakes that I noticed specifically previously, you said one measurement. You said one measurement when you were talking about how to make the dosa. You said one measurement.
Uh-huh.
Wrong. What is this one measurement? You were trying to say 1 cup probably. 1 cup of this, 1 cup of this. Maybe that is what you were saying. Or what you can say is you can measure equal quantities of rice and dal
Yes.
and soak them for a couple of hours before blitzing them into a fine paste
Yes.
or before grinding them into a fine paste. I just gave you a different word for grind as blitz. I was just trying to increase your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Then after that, with the help of the bowl, I think what you were trying to say was this ladle, Ladle. I introduced that word also for you. Then along, okay, those were the main things that I noticed in that previous thing. But I have already given you the full description. You understood that description of how to make the
Yes. Yes.
breakfast.
I understood. Yes.
Okay. Now you said, I will cook in my lunch. The preposition that you used is incorrect. It is not in for lunch. Make the sentence simple, Saraswati. Don't
Mhm.
complicate it with unnecessary prepositions. So what you can say is, so now I'll ask you, wow, your breakfast sounds so yummy, Saraswati. So what are you having for lunch? Or I can't wait to hear what you will be having for lunch or what you are going to have for lunch. So you can say, oh, lunch is a simple affair. Lunch is a simple affair. AFFAIR. So lunch is a simple affair of rice with pulses and pickle.
Mhm.
What is pulses? Pulses is the English version of dal. So you can say rice with cooked pulses and pickle.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
now the next question she's probably going to say is cooked pulses. What does that mean? So you can say that cooked pulses is also called dal, and it refers to a gravy in which we cook the pulses along with a bit of ghee and spices.
Yes.
That is what we are trying to say. But do you see how again we started the sentence? Lunch is a simple affair of rice, dal, and pickle.
Pickle.
A simple affair. What is the meaning of a simple affair? That means it's very simple, very modest.
Yes.
So you can either use the word simple or you can replace the word simple with modest. Modest. Now, modest means what? Saraswati dresses very modestly. Modest is another word for decent. That means Saraswati does not unnecessarily expose any part of her body or show unnecessary skin. Saraswati dresses very modestly. So, in this context, we are using modest to describe someone's appearance. And you're using it for a human being, for a person. You can also say that lunch is a modest affair. What is the meaning of a modest affair? That means lunch is a very simple affair. In this context, modest does not mean decent, it means a simple affair. You're not making some fancy food.
Yeah.
Simple. Rice, dal, pickle.